Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the Virus Edition, a.k.a. the Pandy Pods.
A.K.a. two guys, no big surprise.
A.k.a. taking Maldroit buffoons while listening to Detroit's tunes. That is Screggers, James Scregman. Love you, buddy. Thank you for that. Let's jump into it, because we got a tight one today, but we're going to just fire it off.
Okay. So we've talked about this recently on this show. I can't remember how many episodes it was before this.
Maybe a week or so.
Teachers who don't know how to behave when with their students on a class trip. Always weird, always funny.
We had the guy kicked off the trip in Costa Rica for taking students to a strip club and then like threatening pupils.
Right, threatening and then getting
him drunk, getting drunk, and then like being belligerent to the class, to the other female chaperone,
and then undressing in front of her. Right?
Oh God,
I don't know.
It's like all things that got people canceled, and this guy got like a 3-year ban.
So I'm trying to figure out what might be the issue here with these chaperones and this thing. Number one, I think it's hard to get chaperones for class trips.
I think you're right.
That's a huge ask.
Huge ask.
It's bigger than, hey man, can you drive me to the airport?
No.
It's like, can I get a ride to the airport? And then can you take my son on a class trip and 8 of his friends
and kind of be his parent
when his parents aren't around, when he's with all of his friends
in a new place and he doesn't want to listen to you?
When the temptation to be bad is huge, even for good kids.
Yep.
We said this before about a substitute teacher. When kids are out of the classroom and in a different city,
they're going to go nuts.
You want to go nuts.
So
I remember when we used to go, when we were on like youth group conventions at hotels.
That's right.
With kids and many chaperones. We would find one moment.
Bless you.
Excuse me. We'd find one moment in the weekend.
We'd do like a stealth mission and we'd like leave and like go out of wherever we were. Leave the premises. I can't believe we left the hotel. That is the dumbest thing in the world.
It's so dangerous. And then we go to like an IHOP at like some bad restaurant.
And believe you, we were good kids. We were good kids and we still did that stuff.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it's just insane. We weren't crazy rebels and we were good kids.
We were good kids and some crazy kidnapper could have napped us even though we were kids.
No one knew where we were. That's
a lot of pressure on these chaperones. Okay.
That's right.
Being a chaperone, it's a big deal. And I'll add on to that the fact that we've all been locked down for over a year.
Global pandemic has been acting as our chaperone, essentially.
Telling us you got to stay in your room every night. Telling us the rules, what you can and can't do.
Keeping us from socializing or hooking up. I mean, the pandemic is really laying the smack down.
The pandemic has made people want to rebel.
And now that schools are starting to go out and function again.
And take class trips, these same adults who've been kept on a short leash for 14 months by their pandemic chaperones.
Even if they're good adults, they're going to go wild. They're going to go crazy. And they can't handle it.
You can't ask these parents, these people to be... these adults to be like the moral compass for these kids. They just want to blow off steam too.
Case in point, this next story.
Let's get into it.
Here we go.
2 Athens area school district employees were arrested in Virginia Beach while chaperoning the senior trip, according to the AASD superintendent.
So wait.
Craig Stage.
They went to Virginia Beach to study the culture there?
I guess was the class in alcoholism.
I've been to Virginia Beach. What is the class again, Jay?
I think driving while intoxicated ed.
Maybe.
Social studies. I guess. This is social. Being really social studies.
I mean, it's putting the social back in social studies.
Social studies teacher Christopher Weldy. And
Weldy.
And Benjamin Gambrel. Every Gambrel knows the secret to surviving. Knowing when to walk away from being asked to be a chaperone. And knowing when to run. You run away from that.
He's the gambler.
He's learning. Gambrel is a learning support staff employee and varsity girls track coach.
Translation, he just likes to watch the varsity girls
run.
Get ready. Yeah, exactly.
It's never the librarian or the secretary of the assistant principal who chaperones trips.
People get into being a librarian to not have to talk to kids. It's to tell kids to shh.
It's always the girls' varsity volleyball coach.
That's right.
Or track coach.
Well, I'm going to say right now, why is it always a man?
Shouldn't always be a man.
Yeah.
And yet it always feels like it is. And who I'm going to say right now is DTF and DTP.
Which you shouldn't be if you are a chaperone on a kid's trip.
Down to party.
Exactly.
Well, both men were charged, and I'm right about that, down to party, with being drunk in public and using profanity.
No, charged with using profanity. Is
With using profanity. That feels a little bit harsh
is that
to
a,
me.
Is that a charge?
But at the same time, drunk in public, I think, is enough.
That is not. If you're creating an incident,
I don't know why they have to heap profanity onto the drunk in public part, but
what
it's
is
still...
this? Like, is this Lenny Bruce's rap sheet? Come on,
It does
guys.
feel like Lenny Bruce's rap sheet.
It is.
According to a teacher page, Gambrill also served as the advisor for Students Against Destructive Decisions.
Sad? This
is
is sad.
which, quote, envisions a world in which young people make positive decisions that
my
advance
God.
their health and safety.
This is really sad, is what this is.
It's sad for the advisor of SAD.
Exactly.
Which, when we were kids, didn't the acronym SAD mean
Students Against Drunk Driving?
But now it's expanded to Students Against,
destructive decisions.
or you could go with Students Against Dumb Decisions.
Yeah. Like deciding to get wasted and cuss at people in public on a class trip when you're the chaperone.
The dumbest of all decisions. So SAD, quote, envisions a world in which young people make positive decisions that advance their health and safety. I wonder if it also envisions a world where chaperones go wild on class trips and lose their damn minds.
I mean, if this guy's smart, he should turn it all around and use himself as like the sad
Hey, I'm a
cautionary
tale, man.
Hey, everyone,
Tell everyone it was staged.
plan. This is how I'm going to keep I was trying to scare these kids
Like,
straight.
if I don't get drunk in public, and
They're
if
not
I
gonna
don't- they're-
see
how are
me.
they going to learn?
If they don't see me in
what
cuffs
not to do?
getting charged for cursing,
It's one thing to tell them what to do, but if I show them the consequences of what not to do,
then how much of a better sad organizer
I just
am I?
gave them the most valuable class trip of their lives. I think is what he should have said, but he
Instead,
didn't.
what
All
did he say?
we'll take a break.
We'll
When we
tell you
come
what he
back-
said on the other side of this break. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Love that we get to do this with you guys. Hope you're doing well. Dogs barking outside. We don't care. Let's jump back into the story because it's another story of
Two chaperones got drunk and were cussing in a senior class trip to Virginia Beach, why are they taking seniors to Virginia Beach?
Again, no idea.
What class trip
I've
is
been
that?
to Virginia Beach and there's no reason to do that. Okay.
And they got arrested and it was a big deal. And now the school board, this guy Craig Stage, has to answer to it.
So what did Stage say?
Stage says that he was immediately alerted to the arrest and said that there were a total of 4 chaperones on the trip.
Okay.
So 2 other chaperones were not invited out to have a fun
Well, they're
night,
not cool,
apparently.
man. You knew they'd narc.
They can't handle their
You
liquor,
can't
man.
you can't handle the party.
How about now, bitch?
Yep.
Who can't handle their liquor now?
Exactly.
The 24 students that were on the trip arrived home on Sunday as scheduled.
Oh, good. So the trip wasn't disrupted at all for these teachers that got arrested.
4 chaperones for 24 kids feels like a lot. They could stand to lose 2.
They can stand to lose these 2.
School Superintendent Craig Stage tells 18 News that the district does not release details on personal discipline matters.
Suffice to say, these guys
Guys
are
are
gone.
gone.
They're out. They're out.
I wonder how the teachers union is going to try and spin this
Oh,
one.
the
though.
union's going to be like, they were just trying to blow off steam.
No matter how they spin it, look, you gotta vet your chaperones better, or maybe they did.
And this is just all to show you that, like,
is who would show
wild
up.
cards are looking for a free trip to Va Beach. That's what's
it.
happening.
That's what it is. It's like, again, we go back to what we said at the beginning of this thing. It is very hard to get chaperones.
And so when the A team isn't showing up to chaperone these kids, you're going to get some scrubs.
You got to rely on the B team, and you never know what you're going to get when the B team's out there.
You never know what to get when you sniff a little.
You hope they can just hold serve, but
No.
sometimes they can't do that.
You're going to go down some points.
The senior trip also had a hiccup on the way back to Athens as the bus that was carrying the students lost its air conditioning, and one student had a non-emergency medical issue.
Can we blame that on the 2 teachers as well?
I don't know. They partied so hard they drank the bus air conditioning coolant.
They're party animals.
Despite the incidents, all students on the trip made it back home safe and sound. The kids had a great time, Stage said.
Okay.
That's not trying to save face at all there, are you,
No,
Craig
you're
Stage?
not. That is
What, the kids had fun?
he's staging the response.
Kids did have fun, but not as much fun as the 2 drunk teachers who got wasted and started
That's right.
cussing at people
That's
in the
right.
street.
That's right.
But they had fun. Not cussing and yelling in the street fun.
But they had good
Good
old-fashioned.
class trip to Virginia. Why are you taking these kids to Virginia Beach?
I
There's
don't
no
understand.
reason to do that.
And by the way, what parents are saying, yeah, we should just do this? In the pandemic, let's just let our kids go on a class trip.
This was a disaster.
I guarantee you
from
none of the
get-go.
parents knew these teachers. None of them were like, oh, good, these guys. Like, I don't know all my kids' teachers now.
No.
So, like,
And and it's a red flag when someone volunteers to chaperone.
that's right.
That's a red flag. I'm
Well,
sorry.
And then you're like digging into, like, who is this guy? Oh, he's like the women's
Girls'
track
track
coach.
coach?
No way. No way is this guy going to be with my kids.
But he's the sponsor of SAD. He's like the advisor for SAD.
That feels like it's a
Decisions.
cover for something else.
Yeah.
That's the way you play it. All right, guys, that's the show, guys. It's a quickie, but we love it. Stay connected, stay protected, don't get infected. This is not a hoax.
But we got the jokes.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.